Wines. Now, West Cape Howe is the official wine partner of the West Coast Eagles and one of the most popular brands in Western Australia. And today we are joined by Gavin Berry and Ray Jordan for a West Cape Howe wine knowledge session. Now, Gavin Berry joined West Cape Howe as senior winemaker and managing director in 2004, continuing his career making premium wines in the Great Southern. After a visit to WA back in 1986, he worked his first vintage in the Swan Valley, then studied winemaking at Roseworthy College in South Australia. He worked another vintage in the Swan Valley, then a vintage in France, before choosing to settle in the Great Southern in 1988. And Ray Jordan is Western Australia's leading wine writer. He's been writing about wine for more than 30 years. Ray currently writes a weekly column for the Weekend West magazine and is probably best known for his annual West Australian Wine Guide, first published back in 2002. Okay, these guys are the experts. Please welcome up to the stage Gavin and Ray to chat all things wine.
Well, I'm going to start because you won't learn anything about wine from me, but you probably will from Ray. So I'd just like to welcome you to this lovely lunchroom. I don't get invited to these gigs very often, so there's 4 partners that own and operate West Cape Howe, and I'm the guy that makes the wine, so I'm normally at the winery, but the other guys play golf and do these sort of functions. So I'm now starting to think I want to get this gig a little more often, so let's hope this goes well today, and if you want to do another wine thing, I am available, so, but...
Okay, I was interested just in that little intro that you did study wine making. Did you finish the course? I'll move right on. Look, I got him. In any one year, I probably in my job, which there's a queue out there, probably as many as in this stadium that want it. I probably look at about, 5,000 or 6,000 wines in a year, sometimes a bit more. But I can guarantee, that's without pissing in his pocket, that one of the brands and the wines that continually come up as great value consistently would be West Cape Howe. So we've got this. You've got a number of different tiers, haven't you, in the range? And this is sort of the entry level tier. And for me, consistently great wine. Can I go to the? I'll leave the sparkling for a minute if I can. I want to go to the Pinot Grigio. Now, I don't know if any of you have drunk a lot of Pinot Grigio. Some people just call it Pinot G because it seems to morph between Pinot Grigio, which is the Italian manifestation of the same variety, to Pinot Gris, which is the Alsace. At its worst, it can be, really insipid, and about the best thing you can say about it is it's wet. But, it's a bit like a Richmond player, really.
Why don't you tell us what you really think about this variety?
But, Gavin, I'd like you to tell us a little bit how you tackle this wine, because to me it's got a little bit more substance and a little bit more texture than you'd normally get from those fairly insipid wines.
Well, I first will have to declare that I come from northern New South Wales, from a family of drinkers. So we're not a family of like wine makers or whatever. My family drank. And so I got a pretty simple approach to all of this is if you can't enjoy drinking it, then there's no point making it. So we, before we started on the whole Pinot Grigio thing, we thought, let's line up a whole lot of different wines that you can find in good bottle shops and see if we can find any we want to drink. Not smell, not talk about, but drink. And so of the 30 wines that we lined up, I reckon 20 of them were horrible. And they were too full in flavour, and so there was no fun. So we just started. Our whole approach was Pinot Grigio has to be easy to drink. That's my background as being a good old honest drinker, and that's the style that we've set out to make. So not too heavy in flavour, but not also too light and insipid.
Well, that's the one that's my go-to wine on the table, so I thoroughly enjoy it. It's a good little wine. The next one is the ubiquitous something or other, Semillon Sauvignon Blanc, that's the one, which has just become a West Australian staple. We make it better than anywhere else in Australia and probably anywhere else in the world for that easy drinking style. All fruit, bit of oak?
Absolutely no oak.
As I thought.
So we're trying to capture this. So in an audience like this, Western Australians are weaned off mother's milk onto SSB. We know it, we got it, it's a great drink. You go over to the eastern seaboard and they're sort of going, oh, it's all too complicated, this SSB thing. And I'm going, what's complicated about it? It's got some lovely aromatics that you get from Sauvignon Blanc. It's got good drinkability from the Semillon. It's refreshing. It's got a lovely acidity. And you don't have to think about it. You just get in and drink it. So we've got a pretty simple approach to that, but it has to be refreshing. That's Perth's got a lovely summer, not a bad winter, or whatever you call this day, but it needs to have that freshness about it as well. So.
Okay, well look, let's look at the two reds together. That one presumably is Cab Merlot in that bottle, and that one presumably is Shiraz. Did I get it right? Yeah, okay.
This guy is a gun. He is a gun.
I can pick the bottles and the back label, so I know what they taste like. With these ones at this price point, which, I think the RRP, just for a matter of interest out, is 20 odd, low 20s?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get it for about $15, which is just nutty stuff. I mean, these are really good quality wines. And in fact, I think this one a few years ago was my best value wine in a top red tasting, I think, anyway. But both of them, you obviously source the appropriate fruit, a little bit of largely old oak, and just trying to get a nice, fleshy, warm, easy drinking red wine.
Well, I think, without labouring the point that we like wines that are easy to drink, we have our wine club that get together, and it's all about having a nice boozy lunch, and then people fill out their order forms. And I'm always interested to see what people order when they're half cut. And this wine here, our Shiraz, which isn't by any means our most expensive, and it's not our gold, it doesn't have the most bling on it, but it's our best-selling wine. And I'm sort of going, how is that? And this is, my previous degree was in psychology, so I've sort of got this thing whirring around in the back of my head about why is this. And people need to drink on a Tuesday night, and a Wednesday night, and a Thursday night, and it needs to be at the right price and nothing too challenging and a little bit versatile. And that's why that has become our best-selling wine, is because it's, again, pretty easy to drink. So,
well, I think they're two great wines. And just the final one, sparkling wine, which obviously is not champagne, it's Australian sparkling wine. Pinot, red variety, and Chardonnay. I just had a look at it then. I hadn't seen it before, actually. So nice to have a look at. It just strikes me as a nice, easy drinking, aperitif style, ideal to start a meal like this.
And apparently we missed a great opportunity that there was a wedding on last night that well, I didn't get an invite, but we've heard that it was such a busy night in the bottle shops, and it was all about sparkling wine last night, and you can see why I'm in production and making wine, not in sales, so we missed that one.
It might have been a struggle to get it on against Krug or whatever they were drinking. So anyway, look, that's the lineup. I think they're a great little value for money wines, and I can guarantee they always come up well on my tasting sheets. So thanks very much.
Thank you.